Hey, my name is Kathy Roberts. I'm the Tidy Tutor, and this is Motivation Monday. This week for Motivation Monday, I am sharing with you part of what is on the inside of our Insiders group that we call Coffee Talk. Coffee Talk is a live online meeting that we have once a week together. Now, if somebody can't make it, it's not a big deal. They just go into the archives because it's always recorded and put into the archives. And every Coffee Talk that we have is always available for anybody to see anytime they need some motivation or extra help. This is for people who really want to see a change in their lives, and I invite you to take a look at it right here. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to share this particular topic with you from our Coffee Talk is because I sincerely believe that you have to grasp this specific idea for you to sincerely hold on to and always live the organized life that you dream of. Another reason is because I wanted you to see what happens on the inside of Tidy Tutor University. When you enroll in Tidy Tutor University, you automatically become a member of the Insiders for a minimum of 8 months. If you want to join Tidy Tutor University, all you have to do is click on the link below, either in the description box or it's just right here on the page, and you can get started right now. I look forward to seeing you on the inside and hearing what you have to say about this Coffee Talk. Today, my topic is about loving ourselves and how not loving ourselves leads to sabotage of all of our efforts in every area of life, actually. And that it really is the answer to success. And I know that sounds like a really big statement that, the answer to our success is loving ourselves. But I think maybe after, I get done with what I'm talking about, you might see it that way too. Now, you know that we teach people how to treat us, right? We're treated by other people based on how we expect to be treated, what we accept. Now, we teach ourselves of our value, and it's in our value of ourselves where we find acceptance. And I'm not talking about acceptance of like, I accept myself. I'm talking about acceptance as in the things that we accept in our lives, the things that we expect out of life. Now, by teaching people how to treat us in a huge way, it is the way we treat ourselves. The way we treat ourselves is the way we are being treated by other people, and also the things that we accept in our lives. Now, you know how sometimes I talk about, like say, my sister Maria, my friend Lisa, my sister-in-law Dorothy. There's certain things that they would never accept in their homes. Like when I had my kids' stuff in my house and it was on my front porch and I was telling them, get your stuff out of here. Their children would have absolutely known that this is not going to fly with my mother and I better get my stuff out of there. It's not going to fly. It's going in the garbage. Whereas, my kids, I taught them that this is okay, and yeah, you're going to have some time to get this stuff out. Make sure you get this stuff out of here. And, time goes by, and I'm not treated the way I want to be treated, but guess what? I kind of asked for it because most of it has to do with the love that I have for myself. Now let's go on to the next stage, the next page here. Now, did you ever think that we accept the clutter because of our self-awareness? Did you ever think that the reason we struggle with it is because of our self-acceptance, what we accept of ourselves? Did you ever think that maybe it's so difficult to stay the course because we don't truly love ourselves, because we don't value ourselves? Now, can this be the answer to things like weight loss, financial success, staying organized, and healthy relationships? Everything that we want. You see, I sincerely believe that the way we feel about ourselves and the understanding that what we are is valuable, what we, like we're worthy, that we're worthy, that if we really did have this love for self, that when we went into our bedroom and it was a wreck, we would not accept that at all. Now, granted, I know that you might be saying, well, I know people that have really, really clean houses, but they don't, live a life that's that's good. They don't, people don't treat them right. They have a lot of problems in their life. Well, they have other things. There's other things. Maybe because it's all about what they're predisposed to. Like, it isn't only by people who are disorganized, even though I hate that word, but I'm just using it because that's the word that's used. It's all about what we are predisposed to, and predisposed means to make someone liable or inclined to a specified attitude, action, or condition. So there's very many different things that we can be inclined to. Like maybe it's, a way of living that is under par. Like maybe it's financially destitute. Maybe it's overweight, where you want to, take care of yourself, but you're just not doing it. And I really sincerely believe that a lot of that has to do with self-love. So sure, there's lots of people that live really organized lives. Their houses are very clean and together, but they have other issues. It's all about what we're predisposed to. We happen to be predisposed to a mess. And it doesn't mean that there aren't other things, because say someone else is predisposed to being overweight, that's their ism. Then, there may be other things too. It doesn't mean that there's only one thing, but generally there's something that we fight against and we want so badly. And sometimes we work on it and we get there, but we aren't really able to stay there. And I sincerely believe that one of the keys to this happening is self-love, to seriously, really appreciate yourself. Now, we started out in Tidy Tutor University with the knowing that there's nothing wrong with us, right? That being organized is a learned skill, and learning how gave us great success, right? So learning how to get it done finally, to realize that it's a learned skill, it really did give us great success. And we saw so much happen in our homes. But there is a struggle, right? There usually is. Like everyone that I know of that has been in the place of a complete disaster, learned the learned skill on how to get out of it, there is a struggle with it down the road. Now, at first, when we do it because there was pain, right? There was something that hurt. Like maybe there was a flood and you had to have the plumber come, or someone had to come into the house to take care of something, and you were humiliated, but there was no way around it. Maybe you lost a relationship because the person that you were with, that you fell in love with, saw what you live like and just decided, I can't do this. Maybe you had a job interview and that you were desperate to go to. You couldn't wait to get to it. You couldn't find your keys and you couldn't make it there. Whatever it was that brought you to the point of finally changing, normally it's pain. But this is the thing. When we get to the point where we, push through and do whatever we have to do to change, after a little while, the pain is not there anymore because everything is good now. You learned how to do it. You pushed through. You did whatever it took. And now you're living in order. And a little bit later, what happens is you forget how great it is. And you say, well, it wasn't so bad after all. How bad really was it? And you tend to slide. And that's why I have in our course, TTU, that we journal, so that when we start to think, this isn't so great, big deal, it wasn't such a big deal, I wasn't so bad, we get to look back at that time and see the pain. And so that's the only time I say it's okay to remember pain, so that we don't go back there. But here's the thing. We need something else to carry us through, to keep it going. And I sincerely believe that when we can love ourselves and realize that it isn't only about avoiding the pain that is for the reason why we want to live an organized life, but there's a lot more to it than that. What would it mean to know that having areas in our homes clear of clutter will bring joy and fulfillment to our lives. Well, that's a great start, but it's not enough, because that is really something that's wonderful to know, because I'm going to go into a couple more pages where we'll see that it is so true that it doesn't only get us past the pain and make us happier because now we are living an organized life, but that there really is solid, real things that happen in our lives that bring us fulfillment because the house is in order. But the first thing you have to do is love yourself so that you feel worthy of having these things. And so that you're not standing in the place of feeling like, I accept this, right? Of feeling like, well, this is acceptable, it's okay. Because without loving yourself, that's what we do. It's okay, it doesn't matter, this is fine. See, and that's not what we want. That brings us to another place of, well, this is hard. How am I going to do this? I have to start all over again. How did this happen? Okay. Now, this is something that's from a woman, Christine Beauvais. She's a feng shui expert. And I just picked up a couple of things online from a couple of websites that show that there's more to having an organized house than just being able to find your keys, not be embarrassed, and be happy that you're living an organized life. There's more to it than that. It affects your life outside the house. And if we realize this, I think that this is a great way to push through that time when we fall off the wagon, to not fall off the wagon, to realize that these things happen for me with a clean house. Not only all those other things that I avoided all of that pain, not only that, but also that the accomplishments that I want to have in my life, the places that I want to be, and the person I want to be, the places I want to go, that also happens by having an organized life and an organized home. And when you love yourself, you'll make it happen. Okay? So this is in feng shui, there's, I forget exactly what it's called. You could look it up on Christine Beauvais' blog. It wasn't that long ago. I think it was in July. So if you go to blog, you can read the article. The point I want to make right here is that all of these specific things that touch our lives because of the clutter. All right? If you have clutter in this area, it could mean a struggle to find a career you love, or finding a job, your life's purpose, or in advancing in your career. In relationships, your clutter here in another place in your house may represent problems in your current relationship. You may feel stuck, have lost a spark, or are fighting a lot. If you are single, you may have trouble finding your true love, or you might feel stuck in past relationships. If you have clutter here, you may be having issues with family or authority figures, as well as trouble starting new things. In this area here, clutter in this area can block your cash flow, prevent you from getting a raise or receiving unexpected income. In this area here, your clutter can mean health problems or issues with maintaining your proper weight. Now, of course, I'm not getting into what areas this is in the house that she's referring to. My point here is saying that it isn't only pushing past the pain, getting away from the pain that the clutter causes, that we want to get organized. And I think that if we realize this, along with the love of self, that we will not accept this kind of stuff in our home because we love ourselves too much to accept it, that we won't have the, what's it called? The roller coaster? No, not the roller, yeah, okay. The roller coaster of ebbs and flows that come when we learn how to get organized. All right, so here are some other things that having disorder affects. Clutter in this area may mean you lack support or feel like you are doing it all by yourself. It may also prevent you from traveling or making a move. And there's this area in your house. Finding clutter in this area could block your creativity or write, paint, design, sew, or pursue any creative projects for pleasure or work. This could also prevent you from getting pregnant, or if you have children, representing a struggle with your children, respecting you. Now here's another place that clutter in this area may create blocks in self-improvement, decision-making, or learning. Clutter in this area may block you from promotions, winning awards or contests, or being appreciated for your work. You may also feel like your life is boring and you are finding it hard to have fun in your life. Now again, my point to this coffee talk is not to find the specific areas in the home that are affecting these areas of your life. My point here is to show that there are areas of your life that are being affected by the clutter, and more than just pushing past the pain to clean up so that you're cleaning up the house so that you don't have the pain anymore that is associated, that you live with because of the clutter, that there's more to it than that it affects more than that. It's not just the house needs to be cleaned up and you feel better now. It actually affects the outside of your house, of your life. Now here is another blog that is called redlotusletter.com, and she wrote a blog on how clutter affects your life. Money, friends, health, career, children, education, travel. All right, these are things that she's saying that areas of your house affect these things, like the southeast corner, the south corner of your house, the east corner of your house, the north corner of your home, the west corner of your home, the northwest corner of your home, the southwest corner of your home, the south corner of your home, the east corner of your home, the north corner of your home, the west corner of your home, the northeast corner of your home. These places in your home with clutter affect these things in your life. Money, friends, fame, recognition, health, family, growth, career, business, opportunities, children, creativity, projects, education, personal growth, spirituality, writing, travel, mentors, helpful people. It's more than just getting your house cleaned up so that you could find your keys. It's way more than that. And realizing that you are worthy and really appreciating who you are and loving yourself will get you to the point where you really do finally do it and stay with it. This is something that I got off of unclutter.com. Now I'm just going to read this, okay? Researchers at the Princeton University Neuroscience Institute published the results of a study they conducted in the January issue of the Journal of Neuroscience that relates directly to uncluttered and organized living. From the report, Interactions of Top-Down and Bottom-Up Mechanisms in Human Visual Cortex. Okay, now ready? This is a lot of real technical lingo here. Multiple stimuli present in the visual field at the same time compete for neural representation by mutually suppressing their evoked activity throughout visual cortex, providing a neural correlate for the limited processing capacity or the visual system. Now I'm really happy that they actually wrote this. Or, to paraphrase in non-neuroscience jargon, when your environment is cluttered, the chaos restricts your ability to focus. The clutter also limits your brain's ability to process information. Clutter makes you distracted and unable to process information as well as you do in uncluttered, organized, and serene environments. Now, we know that having the place cleaned up is better for us, but it's wonderful to know that it is actually almost impossible to function in a way that will make us successful. And the reason for that is, listen to the next thing that they say. The clutter competes for your attention in the same way a toddler might stand next to you, annoyingly repeating, candy, 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 I want candy, 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 candy. Or mom, mom, mom. I mean, we've all experienced this, right? It's very difficult to do anything in that environment. And having a home like that does that. So it makes so much sense that having disorder in the house, yes, we know that it makes us happier to have it in order, but learning that it really does affect our life outside the house and our dreams and our desires, not just because we could find our shoes, we could find our keys, and we can find our pen to write things down. Not only that, but we know how important that is. But it goes further than that. We have to love ourselves enough to not allow things. And I actually believe that it has to be that we really love ourselves so that it's not something that we're doing by forcing it. We're doing it because we want to. We love ourselves. I would never do something harmful to my physical body. Why would I allow harmful things to be in my environment, right? To be in the space that my physical body is in. So that's it for this coffee talk. I hope it was beneficial to you. It really did help me. It helped me a lot. It helped me to realize that I can't let go of taking care of myself just because things got better. And a lot of the reason that I noticed this at all was because with the selling of my house, I opened up a can of worms. And because there were things that I thought were acceptable before, and then also minimalism, because that opened my eyes to different things. And it made me see that there were things that I was accepting that I shouldn't have accepted. And if I truly loved myself, I wouldn't have. And other people in my life that I was allowing to dump on me, they wouldn't have done that either because I would have taught them differently. Now, I can teach them differently now. They're not doing anything wrong or bad. What they're doing is what we have accepted, what we've accepted. You know that, remember that no, say no rule, right? Because we've done that. That's a form of having people dump on us, that we just said yes to everything, and people would ask us for things that they would never ask somebody else for, but we taught them that it was okay. We showed them that, no, this is fine. So now, if you're in that position where I find myself, all I have to do is take a look and say, all right, well, that isn't acceptable anymore, and I'm not going to do that anymore, or I'm not going to accept that anymore. I'm not going to allow that, whatever it is. And then with that, what we could do is just have the change. We're teaching them differently. That's really the only thing. And eventually they'll learn and it'll be all good. But before we could teach anyone to love us or to treat us right, or for other people to accept that this is the only acceptable experience for this person, we have to teach ourselves first. We have to teach ourselves that we're worthy, that we're valuable, and that it does matter what's around us. This is unacceptable if you're living with clutter. No, this is unacceptable because I am worthy, because I am valuable. And even, don't forget, not only about like what we would accept from other people, but also things that we would have accepted of ourselves before. Like we're going to say, well, no, I'm not going to accept it that I'm not going to pick up my room before I leave it because I love myself too much to do that. That we get into a different place where we realize that it's more than just having a clean house. It's really about doing the best we can for everything that has to do with our life. And so there's that. I hope this was helpful. This was Coffee Talk, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say. See you soon.